Hey, Vinny. Thanks for your comment. But as other people have already pointed out, the critique that I'm somehow being ableist against current AI technologies like LLMs, like ChatGPT, like Claude, isn't exactly coherent. So the reason it's not ableist to say we can't consider AI to be people because they lack phenomenal consciousness is because when we talk about people in like a moral sense, like when we talk about beings that we have some kind of obligation to as other independent moral agents, we are talking about being centered on and in phenomenal consciousness, which AI lack, right? Because that's the important part. It's not that we're grading different experiences of phenomenal consciousness. The difference between a person living with a disability and one who is not. We are saying and noticing that there is no evidence, there's zero evidence that artificial intelligence has any kind of capacity for phenomenal consciousness, period. Because again, we're talking about evidence, right? Like if we want to make rational, informed, empirical decisions about the world and not just kind of wish for stuff, we have to go off what we can reasonably infer from the environment around us. And all the scientific evidence we have suggests that there is not a reason to think that disembodied, so lacking any kind of biology, artificial intelligence has the capacity to feel anything. That would be an extraordinary claim. It would require an extraordinary amount of evidence to sort of vindicate, and there just is none. There's not a single drop. I think where you might be drawing this sort of instinctive reaction from is a corollary that I don't support, and I don't think my claims kind of support that. We can kind of think about phenomenal consciousness as some kind of like theoretic degree, and that for some reason we would think that people who are otherwise abled or living with disabilities, they lack whatever degrees are morally important for us to consider their lives worth living or their moral worth. So to be extremely clear, I don't believe that corollary. I don't think that people who are living with disabilities live less life than the rest of us. No. Instead, I just want to say something that, I feel is common sense, but with the just massive amount of misinformation nowadays, I think sometimes get lost in the noise, is that having a body is the only way we know that we have any kind of like real evidence for phenomenalism, right? Biological processes is the only way that we can verify that a being is experiencing reality in any kind of meaningful way. And LLMs lack every single feature of that. In fact, it's just like agential AI, any of the suite of currently existing artificial intelligence technologies don't have those things. And I know you're not saying this, but what if someone goes, well, I mean, the AI systems are saying that they do, right? They're saying that they're afraid, and that's actually why I chose fear in the last video, is because I wanted to point out kind of a really obvious absurdity that it seems like media coverage is trying to make you overlook, right? That the AI system is reporting fear, but when we talk about the word fear, right, we're referencing a phenomena, right? That is an embodied phenomena. That is really important because it seems like the AI is lying to us. Now it might not be lying insofar as it thinks it's saying a mistruth, but it is. If we take the words literally, they do not make a kind of rational sense with our understanding of reality, and they don't abide by things that we can later verify. In fact, they kind of buck all of that. It would suggest that AI fear or AI reports of phenomenal consciousness is just another hallucination of the tokenized systems that these language models run off of. And again, to your point about does this represent a kind of ableism to like point out? No, I don't think so. Like we're not saying that because people living with disabilities have different phenomenal experiences than I don't know, like a normatively abled person. Um, I don't really like that, but yeah, are we saying that because they have a difference, they sort of deserve a difference of more consideration? No, I'm not saying that. I don't think anything I said can be inferred to say that. So I kind of think that this whole idea that simply pointing out, hey, AIs don't have bodies, and then someone saying, hey, that's kind of ableist, is at best like incoherent. Like it does not follow, and it's not built on sound premises. Yeah, I think that's at best. But I thank you so much for engaging with this conversation, and I recognize that you're passionate about it, and I actually want to, applaud that you are trying to be protective of ways that this argument can be turned towards oppressive or disrespectful ends, because that's my fear too with what's going on around the conversation of current artificial intelligence technologies and this conversation about consciousness. It is why I made that video, is for a similar protective instinct, and I consider you a friend on that point. So thank you so much. Again, if you have any kind of concerns, as much time as I have in the day, I'm happy to talk about them. I appreciate you, and hope you're doing well. Thanks.